Check this stock out in the past 5 days. It's up 16.5% in 5 days. Now keep in mind, if you know anything about the stock market, usually if you can make 8% a year on stocks, like people are happy with that, right? 12% in a year on stocks, people are really super happy. 16%, people are jumping over the moons. This stock has went up 16.5% in 5 trading days. 5 days? Like what in the flip and flapjacks are we talking about here, right? So let's go ahead and jump into this. I want to share some perspectives and opinions on why Palantir is all of a sudden making this upward move, kind of where I think the stock's headed from here and why I believe that. So reason one, all right, is NVIDIA has started to come back, right? NVIDIA is the crown jewel of kind of the AI movement. We know why. It's because they're selling all the chips and the infrastructure to make all AI software really run, right, and go. And we've heard the biggest of the big companies are ordering these NVIDIA chips left and right. That's why NVIDIA's revenues are skyrocketing. Everybody's from the Teslas and the SpaceXs, from what we're hearing, to, you know, companies like Google McDougal and Mr. Softy and, you know, Meta, like the whole list of them, right? Throw pretty much almost every big, large tech company in there, and they're ordering a ton of NVIDIA chips right now. Never mind international folks ordering these chips and even smaller companies as well. So when NVIDIA starts to rocket again, right, which it was very strange what happened with NVIDIA, right? The stock, oh, I guess we're switching cameras. Very strange what happened with NVIDIA. So everybody was fearful, like, oh, maybe NVIDIA's numbers are made up. Maybe they're not going to come through with those numbers. And then they come through with shockingly great numbers. Then on top of that, they come through with this guidance that's just blow your top off. Like no one, even the most bullish bulls, never saw that guidance coming. Even the most bullish people, right? And so you had this dynamic where it was a blow off top, but yet the stock didn't really move on that, right? Moved up initially and then back down, and then it was down, and it was kind of like, what in the world's going on here? Like this company just reported these insane numbers and this insane guidance, but there was kind of a belief that maybe, at least for the initial day or two, maybe like that's as good as it gets for NVIDIA, right? But the more you hear more partnerships, the more you hear companies just, ordering these chips left and right, the more you start to say, I don't know if this is just something that's here today, gone tomorrow. This might have 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years of a runway here. And this isn't like just a 1-2 quarter thing like some of the short sellers and some of the bears were kind of putting out there, right? And so it's always very dangerous to just run to assumptions that aren't what's going on in reality at that given time, right? It's always a risky kind of proposition there. So NVIDIA's running now at this point in time. That's certainly helping out Palantir. Now, second piece, which in my opinion is just as important, if not more important, happened on the Snowflake conference call. Okay, Snowflake conference call happened Wednesday after the bell, along with NVIDIA. But what happened on that Snowflake conference call, in my opinion, was just as important as NVIDIA, if not more important. Okay, so the question was from the analysts, all right, I guess my kind of follow-up is, NVIDIA reported results tonight. I think looking at the numbers, the data center revenue rose by 150% sequentially. It's insane. But clearly, like AI spend is hitting the silicon layer, right? A question I get from investors, when will AI more clearly hit the software layer, right? Which is where, let's just call it, there's going to be many, many companies making a ton of money. From the chip side, it seems like there's only going to be a few. NVIDIA certainly. AMD should be there really more so next year, right? Maybe you could say Intel, we'll see about them. But there's only a few companies. From the software, it's going to dwarf the size of the chip side, right? Do you have any thoughts on that? And here's what the executives of Snowflake said. They said, I think it's going to be next year, meaning 2024 is when we're going to start seeing revenue from the software side. As I said, it's going to take some time for AI, and people are still struggling to get GPUs, and there's a time lag between when a chip manufacturer sells their chips to it gets built into the hardware that actually gets deployed into a rack in a data center, and it gets deployed to customers, right? Which is him basically saying, this is a process. Don't get too excited, in the short term here about numbers. Short term really meaning over this past quarter, this upcoming quarter. Like this is really a 2024 story. Frank Slootman, the big dog boss at Snowflake, what does he say? He says, I think you will see the leading actually happening in the months to come, but the material impact, I think most analysts out there are seeing in 2024 and tend to agree with that. So basically Frank Slootman and Mike, the two big dogs over there at Snowflake, are basically saying, yeah, you'll start to see this software side of AI start to generate substantial, revenues, but that's going to be a 2024 story. It's not this year. This year is about hardware. Next year can start to be about hardware and software, and then as you go into 25 and beyond, you're probably going to be a lot more of a software story. Okay. Palantir Technologies, massive move down here today, down over $7,000 on Palantir shares. Obviously, the stock's doing well for us overall. We're up $34,000 on the stock, even after today's massive move down, up about 70%. So what happened with Palantir today? Okay, so what happened with Palantir? The stock fell, well, now it's like 7-8%, but it was down 9% after Morgan Stanley downgraded the shares to underweight and raised the price target on the stock to $9 from $8. Thanks for the raise of the price target from 8 to 9. We do appreciate that, Morgan Stanley. So nice of you. So dang nice of you. Oh, you got to be flipping my flapjacks. Come on, man. Okay, so what's Morgan Stanley saying here? Well, the analyst said, near-term optimism in AI, product cycle, and valuation premium creates an unfavorable risk-reward in the stock, as visibility on artificial intelligence platform AIP monetization still remains low. The government segment seems unlikely to provide an offset, and estimates already imply a second half reacceleration. The analyst noted that their view is based on expected delays in AIP revenue contribution, given management commentary, which Palantir has yet to figure out how to monetize it. I freaking told you guys. I told you guys that line was going to come back and Wall Street was going to make a huge deal about it. As the moment I heard that out of Karp's mouth, I knew there's going to be a bunch of individuals on Wall Street that are absolutely going to flip out and they're going to freak out. Oh my gosh, Palantir doesn't know how to monetize AIP yet? What? They're talking about they're going to figure out a way, but they don't know yet? I knew that line was going to come back to bite. I freaking knew it. And sure enough, it did. Man, when you've been doing this 15 years, you know how all these Wall Streeters think. You know what's going to trigger them to want to buy a stock, sell a stock, things like that. And when I heard that, I was like, not a good look, man. Risk that the government business may not be able to offset a top-line deceleration after recently beginning to deteriorate. In addition, the analyst's view is also predicated on a difficult setup in the second half of the year's revenue outlook already implies an acceleration in estimated organic revenue growth, X strategic investments in the Japan JV contribution, joint venture there, which sets a higher bar for the positive estimate revision needed to justify valuation. Palantir has a strong buy rating at Seeking Alpha's quant rating system, but meanwhile, authors have it as a hold, right, on average. So that's interesting. Even that just shows how much of a divisive stock Palantir is, because the quant rating system has Palantir as a strong buy. Meanwhile, humans have it as a hold on average as Seeking Alpha. It's just intriguing, right? Now, I want to go through a couple comments in regards to Palantir here that I saw in this article, or it wasn't even an article, it was a press release that I thought was very interesting from some folks, okay? But before we get into that, just kind of my finalized thoughts on this Morgan Stanley note. I understand it. I'm of the expectation that we were going to get some of these analyst type downgrades and just kind of negative looks from people that are already, remember, Morgan Stanley's already not very bullish on Palantir. If you got an $8 price target on it, that's what their price target was. Yeah, you're clearly not very bullish. You up it to $9, you're clearly not very bullish, right? So it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. And yeah, I'll leave it there. In terms of software revenues, it's so important that almost pretty much no one's going to be making big money from the software side until 2024. It's not happening this year. This is a hardware year. This is the hardware year. Next year starts the software year. Snowflake CEO said that. It's basically what we're getting from almost every company out there. You got to build the infrastructure first. You got to build the hardware side. Why do you think NVIDIA is selling chips for any freaking price right now? Is because NVIDIA is so in demand right now because everybody's got to build out that hardware side first. Then we can talk about the software side in 2024, right? So that's kind of my perspective there, right? And a lot of people believe that Karp and the team are really using AIP as not necessarily a direct revenue generator for that, although it could be, they're looking at that as kind of a more of a Trojan horse to be able to sell Foundry, Gotham, Apollo, different products like that to customers, depending upon whether they're government customers or commercial customers, okay?